Choffcast, yup, it's the Choffcast, Yeah, welcome back to the Choffcast. I'm super excited for today's show. We have some of my favorite electronic DJs in all of Detroit. They're some of the greatest, and there's a lot of really good ones. But these two guys are just incredible. We got Metawav on the show today, Colin and Shane. Super excited to chat with these guys a little bit. I got to let you know this is going to be different than the normal Choffcast. Guess what? I was trying to make the studio better. I built this new scene for our cameras, and I forgot to put an audio device. No! So we lost a lot of good banter in this one. I really wanted to just scrap it and wait for the redo, but there's so many gems and so much perspective in the next half hour of this show that I was like, it would be not fair to these fellas to not let this see the light of day. So I'm going to kind of reiterate the questions as we go. Please enjoy this episode. It's a little different than our normal Choffcast, but there is so much to learn here. Like Colin's Warped Tour journey or Shane's experience in MMA. So much more coming up on the Choffcast with Metawav. Welcome in, guys. First, tell me about your new track, Greed, which is coming out on Obscure Berlin. Pretty sick label.
This track is just... It's like a staple for our sound. It's very much a, we're here on business type of thing. I stand on my business.
Stand on business.
And honestly, it's just a super fun track. Like we made it. It honestly came together pretty quick. I would
super
say.
Quick. I think we made it in like less than a week.
Yeah, which is weird because we have tracks, and I'm sure other producers can, know this. You'll have tracks you work on for months, and like they're just like, they're okay. And then you get some you work on for a week, and it's like, oh, it's ready to go. Like it just comes. So it's kind of how this one was.
I mean, we have so many unreleased tracks that like, we can go back, and we do often go back and like redabble on things, change things, sometimes remove like all the elements, but replace the same like areas we put them in, and just change, really experiment, and sometimes magic comes out of that, and then sometimes we have a track that just falls together. So it's this one literally was less than a week, and we got it signed the next week. So
that's so dope. Tell me about when you guys started the Metawav project and how it's progressed into what it is today.
What, 5-6 years now?
5 years.
We've been doing it, and just from from where we started to now, our sound is different. The way we work is different. The way we think is different. And we really pride ourselves on being consistent. That's what we think is key, is just being consistent, staying in your face as much as we can. And, we're in the studio almost every day too. So
yeah. And I think that like a lot of what makes us unique is the fact that we can make so many different styles. So we have dabbled in a little bit of a house, a little bit of a deep house, and now we're doing techno, and we don't stay particularly on like the hard techno lane. Like I feel like we often just say we make rave music or what we like to call future punk music, because like I don't think that we'll ever just stay in one lane, maybe for some time being, but like I could see us switching it up eventually again. But we want to make a staple for Detroit techno. We feel like we are the new generation of Detroit techno, and I feel like that generation doesn't like just one lane. So
that's so true. I know you guys identify as future rave. That's your genre. Tell me about that. What does that mean to you?
We all, have family issues. We all have relationship issues, and once you get older, a lot of that stuff you mature in, and the future punk music is just like, not everything we do is really clean sounding, and we don't always put everything straight up on the grid, and we use samples, but we also use MIDI, and a lot of times when we're recording, like we're taking influence from hardcore and punk music. So it's, even our personalities, I think our style and our personalities and how we dress is more so coming from that scene anyways. So kind of just fell into that.
Yeah, that's where we both started, actually. This guy played fucking Warped Tour.
Yeah. I played.
Really?
Yeah, I've played Warped Tour a couple times.
Yeah, see?
I didn't even,
Very humble,
dude.
Yeah, when I played Warped Tour in 2015 and in 2011, I think.
Like the whole tour or just Detroit?
No, a couple shows.
Oh, a couple shows. That's sick, though.
In
Right?
2015,
That's
it
huge.
was in Detroit with my band Wolf Shark, but in 2011, we played in Milwaukee and Detroit with Take Notice. Yeah, it was
Wow.
it was awesome too. I mean, it rained in Milwaukee, but it was still sick. We had a decent crowd. There was a good amount of people, but it wasn't like a lot of people to be stage diving on. So I was like, ooh, whoa. We used to cover Comeback Kid, and kids would go nuts for that song.
So was it kind of like a hard shift for you as far as getting into electronic music, or tell me about that transition?
I feel like I'm a huge fan of so many different types of music, and it's not like, it's not like I just make electronic music now. Like I'm still heavy playing guitar and heavy playing drums and recording stuff, and I've got projects happening other places too. They're just not ready to be shown. So it was interesting at first because I never really thought about being an electronic artist. I've always made some electronic music. As soon as I started producing, I started doing, hip hop, R&B, pop music, and all of those elements have electronic bass in it. So one day, it was actually right before COVID, I just decided to see what it was, if I could put together a house or techno track, and I made 3 of them, and I just realized how much fun I had doing it, and it was like, not that I don't doing hip hop and R&B, but it was just a vibe that happened. You know what I mean? Like I just immediately was like, oh man, this was a lot of fun to just throw together. And I mean, I was garbage at it then. So to have that much fun putting together something that was a little nonsensual, it was, and then you go ahead and tell them how you got into it.
Yeah, so I started listening to electronic music probably 2014, 15. I kind of got into it like most people do with more of the mainstream stuff. And as you dig in, you get more of, into the more underground stuff. And I always kind of felt or went toward the darker techno type stuff. So I started doing Sugar Shane stuff. It was like a techno feel, probably 2017, 18. I put out a couple EPs, stuff like that. And honestly, I just thought it was a lot of fun. Anytime I went to a show or a festival, it just gives you a feeling compared to any other type of show. You know what I mean? It's just a vibe. So that's when I started doing it. And then me and him started doing it in 2020.
Yeah, I got into electronic music kind of young, though. Because not so much particularly techno or anything like that. But, I think I listened to Daft Punk in 98. So
Legends.
It was an immediate thing that I think anybody that really listened to Daft Punk would say they were like, whoa, what's this? And then it went to Fatboy Slim, and then later down the line I got into Odessa and Emancipator, stuff like that. And then in 2020 I kind of took a different thought process on how to produce. So yeah, so I think that's kind of how we fell into it. It was weird at first, especially with DJing, because it was one of those things that we kind of were just making music, and we're like, well, I guess we got to learn how to DJ now.
Yeah.
I love that. You guys have been friends for a while, right? Did you guys grow up together, or tell me about your guys' relationship?
We hung out with the same group of people, so we knew each other very well. We hadn't really seen each other, I'd probably say, since high school, or maybe a couple times in between. And then right before COVID, we started talking online because we were both doing music. And then I think we met up in Detroit and just talked about it for a little while, talked about what we could do.
Yeah, it started out with us texting, and then he asked if I would want to collab on a track, and he already had songs released under Sugar Shane, and I didn't even have a project then. I was just doing the chilling in Detroit life. And I was like, yeah, let's see what happens, And, one day we might just toss our first track ever on SoundCloud, but
probably will never happen.
It won't sound that good. But no, it was pretty cool. But it was like, oh man, this is really unique. It was fun, doing it. We just we didn't even. I don't even think we were with each other at that time.
We just sent it through Splice, I think, right?
Yeah, and it was it came out really cool. We never released it, but we were like, well, why don't we do like a little EP together? And then it became, why don't we just do a project? And that's what birthed Metawave.
And it was perfect timing because it was right during COVID when everything was shut down. We weren't working. We were just working on music and stuff like that. So we had plenty of time to get stuff together.
COVID gave me a lot of time to be able to like really research and become a better producer.
It was so crazy. Like as soon as COVID ended, you guys were playing everywhere all the time. You couldn't get away from you. Tell me about that.
Playing like every weekend, every other weekend, sometimes twice. Like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, huge shout out to Jake James because he gave us our first show. And I mean, I've always been going to shows. I know a lot of people in the scene that were putting on after hours and putting on shows. And it was kind of like, hey, like, you know who's promoting to these people? And he's like, yeah, why don't you go talk to Jake? And I think we met him up at like Alley Deck at a show. Super awesome dude. Asked us to send him a mix. We sent him a mix, and then he booked us. So after that, it kind of just snowballed to us being able to, connect with the right people and befriend the right people. And I think the consistency on the music helped too. We put out a music video, like second song we released, which I don't even know if the song particularly deserved a music video anymore.
Probably not looking back
but
on it.
It was fun. And I think that the fact that some people saw it, the right people saw it. I remember Key Mitch said that was the reason he came up to us and was like, hey, it looks like you guys are trying to do something. You want to talk. And that goes to show that like when you actually do put yourself out into the universe, that the universe can answer, because neither of us knew Key. He just came up to us, and shout out to Key Mitch, giving us a lot of opportunities.
Yeah
So Jake James and Key Mitch really have been a staple in helping us get into the scene. And then Bree Clark at the Magic Stick, she's literally
shout out to
been
Bray.
a saint to us. So
All great people mentioned there. I love that. Tell me a little bit about the Metawave community.
Our friend group. We have like
The best friend group.
honestly,
ever.
I say it all the time that like I feel truly blessed to have so many people that are so talented and so driven around me, because it just drives us so much harder, because like you are the company you keep, you know what I mean? And the way that like I look at our friend group and see how many different genres everybody's doing and how uniquely different everybody is, just like it fills me with inspiration, and it really like helps us be the better version of us that we can be.
What do you think it is that helps push you guys forward so much?
I feel like every show we get asked about like how things have progressed for us and things like that. Like when we play shows and shows that we just go to, we get talked to about this. And I really do think that it is just putting your energy out there. Like if you're making something, don't, bang your head against the wall about it. Like, if you like it, put it out. Like, don't worry about the people. Like, the people will respond. Your people will come to you. And, as you progress as an artist, you really will end up putting out better work and better work and better work because you want to. And that's manifestation at itself, is just the want and the action of the want. So,
yeah, you have to consistently put stuff out. You can't just hold on to everything waiting for, this could be the best song, this is my hit. You have to put it out there.
yeah.
You guys are expert level producers, but what do you say to someone who's brand new?
Yeah.
I thoroughly swear on YouTube videos and ChatGPT questions, because like, I mean, you got to obviously use your own intuition when it comes to it, but like we're blessed to have the amount of stuff that we have that can give us information nowadays. So if you just figure out ways to use it, you can literally change your sound, and you can literally understand each and every plugin by just going to YouTube and say, what is a saturator, or what does a saturator do, or what does a limiter do, and like literally watch individual plugin videos, because that's I think the basis around writing music is to know how to use your toolbox. Because if you don't know how to use your toolbox, you'll never pick up the tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like with how rapid electronic music changes, you gotta know it all, because once you know it, you can break rules.
Besides being swagalicious, what is it that makes you guys stand out?
A little bit of the imperfections. I think it's also the desire to, the sounds that really come to us that we want out of our music. Whether we're looking for a sample pack or whether we're looking for a plugin or a synth pack to MIDI out. Like, we always have a desired sound that we're going for. And I think the intention is the first thing that you should try to develop when you're trying to write a song is like, well, all right, I want to write a song. What's my intention? What do I want to write a song about? How do I want this song to make people feel? And once you have those, definitive answers down, that's when it's best to go look for sounds, because then you know what you're trying to look for. When it comes to our sound versus another sound in techno, like, I do think that we give off a little bit of a harsher vibe, a little bit of a, whether it be in the synth sounds or the bass sounds that we use or the vocals that we use. We try to find vocals that are saying things that we feel and deem something that we feel true to us. And yeah. What do you think?
I think it really helps that there's two of us too. So like,
yeah,
I may write something and then have an idea, and then he hears something and has a different idea, and like, oh, that's something I would never think of. So songs like that, I feel like wouldn't happen with just one mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually are lucky to have a group thing, because it's like a constant collab, and it's not like one of us is driving this car. So and that goes how we DJ, that goes how we write music, that goes how we do our branding. Like, we are constantly team effort on this.
Yeah.
And he may develop a song and then bring it over to my studio, and then us work together on it, and it turns into a whole different song, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that we're able to do that also pushes us to grow faster and grow, to be able to develop, the longevity that we have, because I think we have like 15 songs out or something like that. And it's like, it is a journey, you gotta, and it is dependent on how fast you want your journey to be, because I do think that each song is a step in a big staircase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you go back to our first song from like now, just the journey, you see how we've changed and evolved into what we want to do.
But the one thing I love about it, because I was doing this last night, because I'm putting together a couple sets for our shows that are coming up. I was just going through like demos and old songs that is in Record Box, and the one thing I noticed is like we've had a very similar thing going on in each song. Like, there's similarities to each song, whether it be how we do our vocal stabs and in between the verses and the drops and everything, however you want to look at it. Or our synth desires, the things that make us really, what makes Metawav is the sounds and the style that we pick, and like how we go about them. And honestly, it'll probably evolve from that too, because we're getting better at making our own synths, and we're getting better at making our own basses. And it's like, when you really understand how to build in a synth program, it's limitless. You can come up with a sound in your head and make it something crazy. You know what I mean?
I know that being in a duo can be tough. Do you guys ever argue or anything?
Never argue.
We've not had one argument.
Not one in 5 years have we ever.
We have like small disagreements about stuff, but it's like about whether to wear shorts or pants or something.
Literally, that's what it is. Very easy stuff. But we've literally.
I've been in a lot of bands, and one of the things that got me into wanting to do techno in the first place was the fact that I could do it solo, or I could, in this case, do it with one other person. I mean, you can add as many as you want, but when it comes to being in a band, having that kind of chemistry between you and four other people is like, finding four brothers that you want to live with and go state to state with and develop a sound with, that's not something you can do unless you grew up in an area that's like just flooded with musicians that easily.
Yeah.
So like when we started this, like it was like one of the big reasons why I was down to do it with Shane was because of how long we've known each other, and we've literally never had friction.
Not once.
Like, we've never had an argument when we were younger. We've never had an argument now. And I mean, there's gonna be a day, because you know how things come with music and the industry. You know, money starts getting involved, travel starts getting involved, and both of us are, you know, we got our own emotions, so I can imagine one day happening, but I think we both communicate well enough to like not let it be a thing.
Yeah, you have to have an open mind when you're doing a duo. You can't be just stubborn and closed-minded and like, I want this and this is what's happening. You know what I mean? You have to be able to collaborate and talk about stuff. That's
Shane's
the only way to do it.
also one of the most easygoing people in the world.
I'm pretty calm and laid back.
And we smoke weed.
A lot of weed.
What do you guys listen to in your free time?
I mean, I'm open-minded to everything. I do listen to a lot of stuff, but my core is like the techno, the darker type stuff. But it's still fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of music. So, I mean, I'm everything from, I mean, I would say my favorite types of music is underground stuff, but like metal and hardcore, even underground rap and pop and electronic music. But when it comes to like, I love Justin Timberlake, you know, like pop music. You know, I'm really into Dua Lipa and stuff like that. I went to see Doja Cat with my wife. So, I mean, I'm down for mainstream music. I just don't like music that is too mainstream, because there's a level where it gets a little more like cliche-ish. And like, you know, when you go and see the people that are writing on these songs, it's like a lot of people don't know that like a chorus that is going to go mainstream a lot of times has like 13 different producers check it out. Authenticity that like gets lost in that, and like they're just trying to put it in this tiny little box so this one group of, you know, people in the world knows what's up. Even though that group's huge, it's like that's why a lot of people like Charlie XCX blowing up the way she did is it's amazing, because she's more underground pop music. And like for her to go from, you know, I think she might have played Warped Tour, but like Katy Perry, another example, she played Warped Tour before she was ever, there's a lot of that when it comes to it, but you can tell where their music was really good. And then when it starts getting a little too mainstream, it's like, I don't know, like something about it like takes away from it for me as an artist. For other people, I mean, you know, like what you like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say you know what I mean like almost every time. Like something happens to your body energy wise that it releases weird things off into your brain. It's amazing. Very primal for sure.
I know you guys play instruments. Do you have any weird ones or random ones that you play?
I have an auto harp. I don't really know what I'm doing on it, but I can figure it out. I don't know. Like, I really do think that like once you start playing instruments, especially like a string instrument, I've been playing guitar since I was 25. Since I was 25.
It's like 25.
I've been playing guitar for since I was 6. I don't know where the 25 came from.
Throwing numbers out here.
I've been playing guitar for quite a long time, and I feel like once you understand one instrument, especially with string instruments, you kind of just need to know the tuning, and then you will be able to pick up on it. So I've taught myself a lot of instruments that way. Do I know what I'm doing on them? No.
Describe your sound to me in 3 words or less.
One, I would say fun. For sure. Ravey.
Hard.
Yeah.
Ravey for sure. Fun, ravey, and hard, I think is probably the 3 words I would use. Because like that's the 3 things that we consider mentally anytime we're writing a song. Yeah. Like I think one of the things that we really focus on when we're writing is like, are we having fun, and do we feel like if we heard this song live, would we dance? Because like both of us aren't like we're not breaking down, you know, like we're not cutting rugs at every show.
We do.
But when we do, when it's good, it's good. And honestly, that's what I mean. Like, you know, music's, you know, for people that write music, I feel like probably the biggest critics in music, right? And I feel like when it comes to dancing, a person that is a big critic isn't going to dance to, you know, nonsense that you're not into or something they deem to be cliche. And I also think that when you get the people that don't dance to dance, that means everybody's dancing.
Yeah, we just want it to be intense and hard, but we also want it to be fun and ravey
And dynamic,
like,
and have depth.
To a more broad crowd, not just, you know.
A lot of the music that we choose to play live too is music that we feel elevates our music to be able to put more songs of ours in our sets. I think a lot of people, when they first start DJing and first start making music, have a hard time throwing their songs in their sets just because they might not have the same quality or intensity as like really professionally produced things. And we're at that quality now that like when we're looking for songs, we're really just looking for sounds and songs that we're like, oh damn, I wish I would have made that. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, this is the, you know, on Beatport Top 100 or everybody knows this song, it's a banger. Like you need those sprinkled in there to keep the crowd engaged in the familiarity, but or however you say that word, because I just said it really weird. But I feel like all the songs that we choose to play live are all representations of our songs.
You guys have had some songs on the top of the Beatport charts. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't even understand what that means. I hear about it a lot, and I understand the concept, but, like, does it really help you, or is it kind of just a way to brag to other DJs?
For the genre-based scene, not so much like when you're kind of... the genre-based techno and electronic scene, like, I feel like it does help with that, because if you have any port, like, I mean, we don't, like, boast about getting on the charts and stuff like that too much. Like, we'll put it up for promotion because content's king, but the aspects of it, like, it's cool, but it's still just DJs buying your songs usually, or people that are in your community trying to support you to get you further up on the numbers. But, like... yeah, I mean, you're spot on with it. It kind of is just DJs, you know, mostly buying the music that they like. But knowing that there is DJs buying it is a good sign. We've got on some foreign charts before, but we've not broken into the American charts yet, which every time we're on a chart, like, it's like, oh, damn, like, we broke into the French dance charts. I was like, hell yeah. But, like, when it comes to it, it's just assurance that we're doing something right. You know what I mean? Having numbers and statistics behind music nowadays is awesome, because you can actually see visually, like, who's fucking with you and how it's happening. Like, we can go on our Spotify for Artists and see the states and countries that we are actually popping off in.
Let's talk distributors, because this is a hot topic. Which one do you guys like, and do you recommend it for others?
For the label that we run, the Blair Music Group, we use Symphonic for that, because Symphonic makes it a really good and easy way to see all your metrics, all your numbers, all your bank and everything. And it's easy to distribute to your artists if you sign artists, and it's free. So I mean, they take a portion off of what's earned, but I mean, DistroKid charges. But if you put something out on DistroKid, it says DistroKid as the record
on
label.
Beatport,
like, and on Beatport. And we, you know, that's not something that you want. It's not representing your label or your brand that way. And Symphonic, I mean, you just have to email them, and I'll even send you that. So if you want to try to go through them, because it's free.
I know you guys have had some monthly parties and some good releases. Are you guys doing anything crazy right now with your label?
Step back focusing on the label, because for a minute they were doing the shows and trying to have constant releases. I feel like it was taking away from my energy for Metawav, and even though Shane's helping with it now, it's still like, I don't think it's ready to be like a full thing yet. And I don't want to, like, I want to develop a good amount of things happening with Metawav before I decide to like really focus in on a label. I started it because we didn't want to just self-release, and I did want to, you know,
sign
develop a label
and stuff.
But when things were rolling and I felt like it was time to really, really get my focus right, like Metawav needs to be the focus, period.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
100%.
Until, you know, I can pay some people to actually be working for Blair, I would like to, you know, chill out. We're still gonna end up doing our remix releases on Blair and probably a show every now and again to keep things going. But I mean, if you've never put on a show and if you've never put together a release, it can get, you know, pretty stressful if you really care about it. You know what I mean? Especially when you're constantly making music, and I also run a barbershop, so like it's like a constant flow of like gotta have a good checklist to be able to do 3 major things like that. So 2 major things I can handle. 3 I
Three's when it gets rough.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you guys stay so locked into this project.
Because we both love making music. We both love, like, that's our lives. That's what we do. So like that's pretty easy when we're not working or at the gym or stuff like that. That's pretty much all we're doing is always working on music. It doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that either of us are extreme extroverts either. So like we're not always out in the crowd. Like we're not, like, he doesn't drink, I barely drink. And like I'm not out, like, you know, I'm married. I'm not trying to like find a girlfriend or anything like that, a mate. So like there is no reason to be at the bars and be distracted all the time. And we genuinely love making music. Like I don't do anything else. I'm either making music or playing guitar or chilling with my wife and my dogs. So
yeah, that's all we do, man.
But
it's absorbed us.
I mean, running a barbershop and doing the music stuff is a bit tough, but a lot of like barbering's amazing. Like I think the reason I'm able to do what I do in music is because I became a barber, because it's giving me the financial freedoms to be able to afford this and time, because like, I mean, I own a barbershop. I can set my schedule how I want to, and I can make time for, you know, doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
All that.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane?
I work at Verizon part-time, so I'm there about 4 days a week.
Dude, if you guys had to do a hard pivot out of music, what would you pivot into?
Hard pivot. Let's think. I'd probably go for acting. Like I've always wanted to do acting at an older age. So, yeah.
That'd be sick.
I would like to do a clothing brand.
You guys seem very disciplined. Talk to me about that.
And the discipline of doing the gym, like, I mean, I work out 6 days a week. So, like, and I'm in the morning every time, same time. And it's like, it disciplines weirder areas of your life, like music, for an example. Like, I think we probably both average probably 3 to 5 hours a day on music. And it's like, that's not because, like, it's because we want this. We want this to happen. Like, we really love music. We really love this scene. And it's like, I think when you really want something to happen, the energy that you show towards that want is how it happens. You know what I mean? Like, you can say you want something till you're blue in the face, but if your energy is not showing that you want that, it's probably not going to happen for you, because the universe blesses you by you projecting what you want and how your actions are. So we feel blessed in so many different ways with our friend group and how well we've done in certain releases and getting involved with people. Like, you know, this past release that we released, the Reach remix with KMS, I mean, there's literally no words to express what it feels like to have someone like Kevin Saunderson text or
so
DM
grateful.
you
Yeah.
and ask you to remix a song. Like, that's like a bucket list thing. And it's crazy that it's happened this quickly, because it's something that I felt like maybe we would have got down the line, but very, very, very grateful.
Yeah, if you'd have asked us 5 years ago that we're going to be doing an official Kevin Saunderson remix, Inner City, it wouldn't have been, not a chance.
And please go to Spotify and go check that out.
Check it out, Spotify,
Reach.
Apple.
What's next for Metawav?
We're playing Key Mitch's birthday on Belle Isle on the 5th, this Saturday. So
3:45 to 4:30.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Free show.
This podcast might come out after that, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. We'll let you know how good it is when we
If
see
you were
after
there, you
see
knew
this
how sick it
podcast.
was. If not, you missed out.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out. But tacos and beach, that's pretty much in our future. We got Summer Bliss that's coming up too. What month is that? That's August. Yeah. Lots of great. That's a huge lineup. The Sponges are playing. Deepfake's playing. Our homies.
Shout out to Deepfake.
Yeah, real big friend. We're good friends with Deepfake. They're fun. They've been great to us.
Amazing dudes. It was so dope to chat with Metawav. Love those guys and can't wait to keep seeing them win in this world. This is the CHOFF. Thanks so much for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, you might like our episodes with some of the other great musicians of Detroit like Technono and Aranismo, aka Invite Only, Drop Catch, and so many more. Check out some past episodes and get ready for more of the CHOFF right here at Shoebox. And please, 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 please hit that subscribe button. CHOFF. Yup, it's the CHOFF. CHOFF.